Hello, everybody. Welcome to ICC's Game of the Week with your host, as always, Joel Benjamin. By playing quiet systems openings, grandmasters avoid a theoretical battle, but may also hope to win strategically without tactical skirmishes. But when you are playing an experienced grandmaster, such smooth victories are hard to come by, and you may need to sweat out tactics anyway. And that's what happened in this week's game from the World Open, contested by Alex Shimanov and Alonso Zapata. By the end, crazy possibilities were turning up, and the players may not have had enough time to work out the complications. All right, let's get to it. Shimanov against Zapata. Shimanov is a recent player in our country. I believe he's a student at Webster, and if I'm not mistaken, he showed up at a camp I was teaching at, not for the camp, but there was a small open tournament in Memphis, and so this FIDE 2600 player was playing against eight players. It's kind of a mismatch, but here he has more difficult competition, and the veteran grandmaster Alonso Zapata, number one player in Colombia for many years, still a tough opponent. So Shimanov goes for the London system, bishop g5, knight bd2. Sometimes white players play an early c3 just to make sure that black isn't going to get anything going with c5. Once white plays c3, this can become a real pawn sacrifice that maybe you don't get back. So c3 is a very safe move. The problem with playing c3 is that in a lot of variations, it's a good idea for white to play for c4, and we're going to kind of see that in this game. So instead, knight bd2, and with that move, white sets up an option of playing e4. So Zapata plays d5 to prevent that. I think that's a good move. Though sometimes people wait a move with castles because after e4, black can then try d5. That would be a possible move. And if e5, knight comes into e4. All right, so d5, castles, and white develops. Bishop e2, knight bd7, castles, and now c6. I think the best plan for black is to play for e5, and the most direct way to play it is rook e8. And Garry Kasparov actually showed the way in such positions a long time ago, just to play directly for e5. A lot of players sort of routinely play c5, but the thing about that is that if you play c5 and then later play e5, then sometimes your d5 pawn can be a little bit vulnerable, whereas if you have the option to just play c6, that won't be a problem. In any case, white will often try to combat that plan by playing c4 himself, and then there are several games where black responds c5, kind of a Grunfeld approach, and then the center might start getting opened up. Perhaps isolated queen pawn position will arise. So after c6, Shimanov plays c4. Even here, it's possible to play c5 as the move rook e8. I'm not sure is really that important. Anyway, after these c pawns hit each other, but Zapata just played it very solidly. He's always been kind of a solid player. Rook c1, and knight b6. Try to kind of force something to happen with the tension here, and also that now it's possible to develop the bishop. So white expands on the queen side with b4, takes, knight jumps into e4,